Hello, I'm fine. And you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I had lost my voice over the weekend and now it's back, so I'm very happy about that. So, because of illness. So, and where I can remind me where you are from, Eduardo?
I'm sorry?
Where are you from?
Oh, yeah, I'm from Brazil,
Brazil.
uh,
Okay.
Rio de Janeiro.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I meet so many people I forget where everyone is from.
Sure,
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah. Have you had a good day?
Oh, sure, always.
Uh,
Uh, quite exhausting, but okay.
uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. I bought a I got a new computer today. And I'm
Oh,
not using it yet for class, but I'm doing all the updates and installing software and so forth. But it's always fun when you get something new. So,
yes, sure, I
yeah,
like it.
yeah. Have you ever heard about the blue screen of death on the computer?
Oh, sure.
Okay,
Oh, I can't believe it.
my computer got it twice on Saturday and once yesterday. So I was like, well, I need to buy a new computer. so, so
Gee,
yeah, so it'll be fun. Um, but yeah, so in Brazil it's 3 hours. I mean, no, it's not 3 hours. It's 10 p.m. right now in Brazil.
yeah, sure.
Okay, all right.
It's
So
it
I'm
is
starting to figure out what time everything is in relative to my time. So here it's 7 p.m. So hi,
7
Reg.
p.m.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Yeah,
Where are you?
I'm in Idaho.
Idaho. Where is
Yeah,
it?
that's in the mountain states. It's between Washington, Oregon, Montana, and Wyoming, and just north of Utah and
Mm,
south of Canada.
south
So,
of Canada.
yeah. Let me see if I can find a state map, and that might help. Um, Idaho is it's a small state, so um, so a lot of people really aren't familiar with it because it's so small. Um,
Mm-hmm. For foreigners like me, it's difficult to imagine where is it.
yeah, so, yeah. Let me show you real quick. Um, ah, okay, here it is. Uh, Here's a bunch of states, U.S. states. Idaho is this part right here.
I can't see it.
Oh, wait, I guess I need to bear
Mm.
with me a moment. Let me screen share. This is where Idaho is right here. Do
Ah,
you guys
now
see
it.
it?
Now I got it.
Yeah. So it's 2 hours from the East Coast, and you guys are one more hour away. So yeah, over
Uh,
in Brazil. Hi, Leandro and Max and Reggio. Where are
Hi,
you all from?
teacher. I'm from Brazil.
Brazil too. Okay. And Max, where are you from?
I'm from Brazil as well.
As well. Okay. Is this going to be an all Brazil class? Reggio,
Hello, teacher. I'm from Brazil too.
you're from Brazil too. Roberto.
Hi, I'm from Brazil too.
Oh, really? Okay. This is the second time that I have taught a class where all of the students are from Brazil. So here at Verbling, most of the time, when as you know, you go to a Verbling class and there are people from Japan and Saudi Arabia and Spain and then Colombia and Brazil and different countries. But now this is the second time in 2 weeks. I think it must be the time time right now because it is morning in Asia and it is late. in the middle of the night in Europe. So I think the Americas are the only one. Hi, Hector. And Hector, remind me where you were from.
Yes. I'm from Colombia.
Colombia. Okay, so we have now broken it. Everyone else in the class is from Brazil. So you're the only one that's not from Brazil. So awesome. Okay, so we have 3 languages represented then. We've got Portuguese, English, and Spanish. So good. So let's go ahead and get started, y'all. For those of you who do not know me, I was just showing Eduardo the map where I'm from. I'm from the U.S. And I'm actually from Idaho. Idaho is a fairly large state, but it has very few people. And we have about 3 million people in the entire state, mostly in this area and this area. So 75% of the state is made up of national forests. So we have a lot. It's basically a lot of mountains and a lot of countryside. So that's a little bit about where I'm living right now. I live in a small town. There are only 850 people here. It's very, very tiny. Mm-hmm. I started teaching English in 1994. I started working online in 2006. I've taught English in South Korea, and I've also taught English in Finland. For Finland, I went there for a 9-month contract, and I stayed for 11 years. So. And I came back to Idaho when I realized that I could teach online, and that was about 4 or 5 years ago. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Has anybody here ever traveled to South Korea?
No, I don't know.
No.
No one has? Okay. Have you ever traveled to a country where you cannot speak the language? And you're not sure if you as a tourist are paying the right price?
No.
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 So you've always traveled to countries where you can speak the language?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. In my experience, Korea was the first country I ever lived in outside of the U.S., and it was very strange to go there, and I couldn't even read because the characters were there, and so if they didn't have English letter or Latin letters, I did not know what was being what was happening. So we have this thing called the tourist police that they set up. It's kind of interesting. So first of all, let's talk about the first question here. In Brazil, which are the most popular tourist destinations in your country? Let's start with Brazil. Anybody can answer.
That is my city, Rio de Janeiro.
So Rio is the most popular. Why is that?
Because of the natural beauty. The beaches.
Uh-huh.
The beaches are very good.
Okay. Any other reason?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay. I know that Europeans love to go to Rio because of the carnival.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. I've heard several, when I was working in Europe, that's one of the things I heard a lot. So,
Yeah.
all right. How about in Colombia? What are the most popular tourist destinations in Colombia?
For European people, likes la Sierra Nevada, and some people likes el eje cafetero.
Okay, and I have no idea what those are. Can you tell us what those are, Hector? Is it a town, or is it a community, or is it a beach, or?
La Sierra Nevada is a group of mountains.
Okay.
Near of the sea, the Atlantic Sea.
Okay.
Near of the beach, in Atlantic Sea. And el eje cafetero is in the middle of the country. Is some cities dedicated of coffee.
So it's dedicated to coffee. It's known for coffee.
Is yes.
Known for its coffee.
Cultivate coffee.
Okay. Excellent. And Eduardo asked a question on the chat. He said, "We've heard about the nightlife in Bogota, and there's good music. Is that true?" Hector,
I don't understand the question.
Is there a good good nightlife in Bogota?
Good nightlife. Yes. In Bogota, we have a part of the city. Then we have a lot of bars and pubs or discotheques. I don't know, but I don't like it because I like the rest.
Okay, so you like the quiet life.
Yes, I like the quiet life.
Okay, and how about more tourist attractions in Bogota? Not Bogota. In Brazil. Are there more besides Rio?
Sure.
I think foreign people like to visit cities in the middle of Amazon jungle, like Manaus, Belém. I don't know.
So see the Amazon. I would say that's true. Yeah.
And Bahia, no?
Yeah, Bahia.
The cities of the northeast is a lot of beaches in the.
Okay. I think I've been to Colombia, and I know that it's a beautiful country, but I'm ready to jump off and go to Brazil too. I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. So there are nice canyons between Rio Grande do Sul and Santa Catarina states. Okay, so that would be canyons.
Yes, the canyons in Itambezinho is the name of the most popular canyon. Is in the city of Cambará do Sul, South Canberra. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, I need to go down there.
Yes, I'm from Rio Grande do Sul. Is very close to these places.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes, it's a different culture too. The Italians and Germans immigrants in here the cities is very beautiful cities in there.
Okay. Yeah, Brazil did get a lot of immigrants from Europe after World War II, correct?
Yes, a lot of places, yes. I don't live more in Rio Grande do Sul, I live in Brasilia. And Brasilia is not common to be the descendants from Europeans. It's more different regions from Brazil.
Okay. And how about Colombia? Did Colombia get a lot of people from immigrants from South America? I mean, from Europe after World War II? Hector?
In Colombia, in the recent time, the last time.
Yeah. Well, after World War II, yeah.
has of many people come from Asia,
Uh-huh.
mostly for business,
Okay.
and United States, and a lot of people from Venezuela
Okay. Okay.
recently.
Okay. And we actually how we pronounce that instead of Asia, in English we say Asia.
Asia. Okay,
Asia.
thanks.
Yeah. And actually we don't even really say the I part. We say Asia. Asia.
Asia.
Okay. You're welcome. All right. Well, let's go ahead and look at the key words here before we go to the reading. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to read the sentences below and match the underlined words and phrases to their definitions. And for some of you, this might be very easy, and some people it might not be. So it just depends. So Reggio, can you read number 1?
The man said he was a police officer, but he wasn't wearing a uniform.
Okay, so what is a uniform? Is it asked to pay too much, has a gun, help, special clothing worn by an organization, or visit? Anybody?
Letter D. Special clothing. Yeah.
Special clothing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it is special clothing worn by the individual. And I thought I had the... Bear with me a moment. I thought I was able to write on this. So I'm going to add text. So D, special clothing worn by individuals. Do you guys know what a police officer that is not wearing a uniform is called? Does anybody know?
Detective.
Excuse me?
Detective.
No.
Can you repeat the question,
Yeah,
please?
absolutely. Do you know the name of a police officer who is not wearing a uniform? Oh, you had said detective. Okay, detective is one. But there's another one. Does anybody have any idea what that would be? We actually call it a plainclothes police officer. It could be a detective. It could be another kind of police officer. So if you so a detective is one, and a plainclothes police officer. And hello, Albanus. Where are you from?
I am from Venezuela.
Venezuela. Oh, good. We have 3 countries. We've got Venezuela, Brazil, and Colombia. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome. Is this your first time at Verbling?
Yeah, no, this is my second month.
Oh, awesome. Okay, welcome. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 2. Max, could you read number 2?
I was lost, but the police officer tried to assist me.
Police officer. Can you say officer?
Officer.
Okay, and what would that be? Anybody? Which
C.
number? C. Okay.
Help.
C. Excellent. Help. Okay, Max, can you read 3?
Okay. The tax fare usually costs $5, not $20. I think you were overcharged.
Overcharged. Overcharged. Okay. And what would that be? Anybody?
A.
A, yes. You were asked to pay too much. Okay, and one thing, taxi, we actually kind of pronounce both syllables. Excuse me. We say taxi. Pardon my language. Pardon my coughing. Taxi instead of taxi. So, okay, number 4. Leandro. Can you read number 4?
Yes. Be careful. The criminal is armed.
Okay. Which one would that be?
B.
B has a gun.
Yes, has a gun. Okay. And number 5, Hector, can you read that one?
During my stay in Japan, I learned a lot about the Japanese culture.
And that would, of course, be E. So during my visit to Japan. So here it would be during my stay in Japan or my visit to Japan. Okay, I have a question for you about number 3 for everybody. Have you ever traveled somewhere and you thought you were overcharged? Have you ever been overcharged because you were a tourist?
Yes, in London.
In some place.
Yes.
And so Eduardo said in London. And Leandro, where were you at?
Oh, in London. In London, yes.
Okay.
It wasn't to me, Eduardo.
It was Leandro. Okay. And Eduardo, did you speak as well though?
Well, I'm sorry.
So one of you said London.
It was Leandro.
Okay, and did you also say something?
Oh no.
Okay, so London. I've also been overcharged at an Indian restaurant in London. So London's big for this. And I'm a native speaker, but I was also a tourist, so of course I'm overcharged. Do you guys know, are foreigners overcharged in your countries? Or tourists overcharged in your countries?
I've been already, but I complained and I didn't pay too much.
Okay, so you've been overcharged. In Brazil, Eduardo, if I were to travel to Brazil as a tourist, would I be overcharged?
You have to be aware of the taxi.
Okay.
Taxi drivers. Truck drivers are dangerous.
Okay. Are they? Hector? Yes.
I think in Brazil that happens all the time. You have to take care. You have to pay attention for the price.
Pay attention to the price. Yeah. How about in Colombia? Are the taxi drivers dangerous in Colombia?
Sometimes, even if you go to other cities, the taxi driver of the other cities, if think you about the is of another cities, maybe they overcharge the service.
Okay. I took a taxi in Colombia. I flew into Colombia and I had the hotel hire the taxi driver, but it was there was a sign and it was at night and I was alone and I couldn't speak Spanish, and the car he took me to had no markings on it. I could not tell it was a taxi. And I was kind of scared, but he took me straight to the hotel and everything worked out great, and did the same thing in Poland. So, okay. In Venezuela, Albanus, do you need to be careful about taxi drivers in Venezuela?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. I think the only place you really don't need to is Finland.
I think that it is so expensive.
Yeah. In Finland it's expensive, but the taxi drivers are straight as an arrow most of the time. But they're starting to get people from other countries, and so they're not as but anyway, excuse me, I'm sorry for the coughing. You are going to read an article about a new kind of police force in South Korea. Read the text in order to answer the questions below. Okay, so what we're going to do is read the text, and we will look for words that you do not know, and we will also look at pronunciation. So what we're going to do is try to look for these answers as well. So the goal for reading the text is comprehension or understanding, and also to practice pronunciation. Okay, so we're going to look for these answers. And Alvanas, could you look for number 1, how many police officers were chosen? Eduardo, would you look for what is their special ability? Hector, what is their duty? And Leandro, number 4, how do they show which languages they can speak? And Max, number 5, who designed their uniforms? And Reggio, number 6, what can they do if there is a serious crime or emergency? And then we can all look for number 7 and 8. How many tourists visited South Korea in 2012? And what is the most popular tourist destination in South Korea? Okay, so let's go ahead and read this article. Can everybody see it? Do I need to increase the screen a bit?
Do I have to read the number 1?
Yeah, you can read. Why don't we have you read the very first paragraph?
Okay. In South Korea, the country where the postcard PSY comes from, is a new tourist police force. Their tourist police officers are dressed in special uniforms which are designed by one of the costume designers who create PSY's image.
Okay, let's talk about the last few words. Okay, designed. Can you repeat after me? Designed.
Design.
By one of the costume designers. So designers who created PSY's image. Okay, are there any words here that you guys do not know? Any new words for you guys?
No.
No, you're fine. Okay. And Eduardo, could you read the second paragraph?
100 young officers were chosen because of their ability to speak different languages. Their duty is to assist tourists who feel they have been overcharged during their stay in the South Korea capital of Seoul.
All right, thank you. Any words here?
No.
No? Okay, it's a fairly simple article. And Hector, could you read number 3?
Yes. Officers can speak a number of different languages, including English, Mandarin, and Japanese. They will wear special badges which state the language that they can communicate in.
Okay, so remember, even though there's an S back here, you actually have to pronounce it, and we actually stress it. So languages. Languages, okay. So they wear special badges which state the languages they can communicate in. Okay, number 4, Leandro, can you read that?
I'm sorry, a question. What's
yes.
Badges?
A badge is like a it's what they pin to their chest. So that real quick, I'm going to check Google Images for you. But it's kind of like a sign that you wear, like a name badge. A name badge is probably the most common.
Plate?
Yeah, nameplate usually goes on your desk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's a Google Images of badges. So this right here is a police officer.
Okay.
The type of badge, recovery agent. This is a, I think a real common type of badge that a lot of people might have.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking. All right, could you read the next paragraph? Number 4.
Okay. Tourists How think they we overcharge by taxi drivers or street food vendors can come and talk to us. Say English speak recruiting Park J. Young.
Yeah, it's Hyung, Park Jae Hyung. Yeah, so they were overcharged by taxi drivers or street food vendors can come and talk to us, okay? I wonder if they know that. So we will help settle the problem. When I lived in Korea, I would never have known I could do this. So, Max, can you read number 5? First of all, are there any questions about number 4? Are there any words that you do not know?
Yes, the recruit. I don't know.
English speaking recruit. Recruit is a person who has been asked to do a particular job. So, for example, if you are in the military, you might be an army recruit, or sometimes we can use this as a verb or an adjective. Universities recruit students, so they ask them to come to. So Park Jae-hyung was asked to be an English-speaking policeman. So.
And how about settle?
Which one?
Settle the problem.
Oh, we will help settle the problem. Another word for that would be solve. Solve the problem, or we also maybe we will come to a solution. Does that make sense? So we will help settle the problem. Very common way to say that. We will help solve the problem, or we will settle the problem. Good. Thank you for asking.
But
yes?
that is an expression or is a word?
It's a word.
Okay.
Just to settle. There's to settle has several ways to use it. For example, settle a problem is the same as solve a problem. Okay. You also have to settle down, which is a phrasal verb. And the best example I can think of is I have 2 5-year-old nephews who by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, if they have not been outside to play, they are very, very active. They are very energetic. And we have to tell them, settle down, settle down, settle down. So stop being so energetic. So in school, the teachers have to try to settle down their classrooms. Does that make sense? So
yes.
So that's a phrasal verb, to settle down. But when it's used by itself without a phrase, it means solve. Okay. All right. Let's go to number 5. Max, could you read number 5?
Okay. The uniforms that the tourist police are designed by one of the customs designers for Psy's music video Gangnam Style, the first video to reach 1 billion views on YouTube in December 2012.
Okay. I never saw this. Did you guys?
Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah. How do you say? Is it? What is his? How do you say the guy's name? Psy?
Psy.
Psy. Okay. Is it a good video?
It's a funny video.
It's a funny video.
Is it funny?
Yes.
How is it funny? Hi, Alejandro.
Doesn't make any sense.
Oh, really?
The way the guy dances is very particularly funny.
Okay. I should have actually watched it before this class because I really have never seen it. So.
But the music is very good.
Is it?
I like it.
Is he a one-hit wonder? You guys know what that is?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
I'm writing it down. Is he a one-hit wonder? Which means one-hit wonder. Which means has he only? Is this his only song that he's famous for, or does he have other songs he is famous for?
I think he's one-hit wonder.
Okay, so he's.
He has another song. Is about bad people or something. Is the two? He has two songs.
Okay, so they're two hits.
Two hits.
Yes. Okay, so he's not a one-hit wonder. But I don't even know how often one-hit wonders are used. But it's one that I just thought of. Is he a one-hit wonder? Okay, let's go to the next one. Alejandro, welcome. Can you read number 6?
Number 6.
Yeah.
The song was played at the official tourist police launch in the capital, and a police unit performed some of C's special dance moves.
Okay, thank you. Any words in here that you guys may not know? Totally fine? Okay. Reggio, could you read number 7?
Tourist police officers are not armed and should call regular police officers if there is an emergency of serious crime.
Okay, an emergency or serious crime. Okay. In 2012, approximately 11 million tourists visited South Korea, and Seoul remains its most popular destination. Okay. It is a beautiful city in many ways and many respects. I fell in love with it. So, okay. So if we remember, number 1, how many police officers were chosen?
Anybody?
Yeah. How many police officers were chosen for this?
100.
100.
Young officers.
Yep. Okay. What is their special ability?
It's speaking several languages. Foreign language.
So probably speaking foreign language as well. Okay. What is their duty?
His duty is to help the tourist.
Yeah, so assist or help tourists. Okay. Yeah, and I wish I would have had somebody like that when I was there. How do they show which languages they can speak?
We have they wear a special bandage with the language we speak. They speak.
Okay. So they wear special badges with the languages they speak. Okay. And who designed their uniforms?
Their uniforms were designed by the same designers who designed the precise uniform.
Size designer.
PSY designer.
Yeah, PSY or PSI or C or whatever his name is. Number 6, what can they do if there is a serious crime or emergency?
he calls to real policeman.
Yeah.
An armed policeman.
Calls for backup, basically, with what do we call normal? Maybe normal policeman.
Normal armed police.
Armed. We can say armed. That would be better. Armed. Armed policemen. We'll say armed police officers because it might be a woman. I don't know if that would be in Korea though. So, next one. How many tourists visited South Korea in 2012? Visited South Korea in 2012.
10 millions?
11 million.
11. Yes.
Okay. And what is the most popular tourist destination in South Korea for foreigners?
Seoul.
Yeah, Seoul. And Seoul is for foreigners, but actually it's a little island. Excuse me, south of South Korea called Cheonggi-do. I think Cheonggi-do or something for Koreans, and they call it their Korean Hawaii. And it's just south, and it's warmer, and they always go down there for a holiday. So, okay. In your opinion, does your country need a tourist police force? Why or why not?
I think that yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Alejandro, you are from Brazil, correct?
I am from Venezuela.
No, I'm from Spain.
You're from Spain. I was thinking you're from Spain, but then I thought no, Spanish. They're all asleep, so it's in the middle of the night for you, right? What time is it in Spain right now?
It's 3:30.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's why I thought, oh, he must be from Brazil. Okay, so in Spain, do you guys need a tourist police force?
We have a tourist police.
Oh, you do?
Yes. Yes.
How can you tell them apart from real police?
And they are in the center of the city. And help the foreigners people to arrive at their destination.
Okay, so Spain has a tourist police as well. Wow, that's great. Okay, and how about Venezuela? Is it Albany?
In Venezuela, there is a tourist police force.
There is as well, or is not? No. Do you need one?
Yes.
Okay. And how do I spell that? Venezuela. Venezua.
A.
Yeah.
LA. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Needs a tourist police force. Okay.
Yes. And more security.
Yeah. Okay. And how about Colombia?
In Colombia, we have a tourist police, but it's a part of the normal police. But he don't have exotic clothes. It's same the same clothes are the rest of the police. Only he have ID for identification.
Okay, so his ID is for foreigners. Okay. Awesome. When I was in Colombia, I did not know that there was such a thing. Awesome. How about in Brazil? Reggio. Do you guys need one? Or do you have one?
No, we have the tourist police force. We haven't. So we need to place better in somehow in other times. For example, tonight no, at night. Need to better positions at night.
Okay. We need to place them at better locations, maybe. Locations at night. Okay. Yeah. I wonder if New York City possibly has a police force like that. It's specifically for the tourists. But I don't know. Leandro, you said you were in London. Do you think they have a tourist police force?
I don't know. I don't find any tourist police force in London. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, and I've never seen it. I've been to Colombia. I've been to South Korea. I've never seen either one. So, but I think it would be helpful just because even if the taxi drivers are not cheating the people, it still would be helpful for the tourists to understand that they're not being cheated. So, okay. So we're going to quickly go over some grammar. It's on defining relative clauses. So a relative clause is a part of a sentence. It can begin with which, who, that, or where. Let's complete the table below with examples from the text, okay? So for example, who. We use who when we are talking about people. So in paragraph 1 of the costume designers who created size image. So who created size image? Let's go to paragraph 2 and see if we can find the example. Can anybody find that?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Please. So who,
yeah,
Phil?
Mm-hmm.
Who? Can somebody answer?
Their duty is to assist tourists who feel they have been overcharged.
So we just look for the two. So their duty assist tourists who feel. Okay, and then let's skip over to which. We use which when we are talking about things. So paragraph 3. Hector, could you find that one here? For which? So they will wear special badges.
Yes. They will wear special baggage which states the languages that they can communicate in.
So which right here. And then we have the next one I think is that. Which we did where, and that's when we're talking about a place. I don't what paragraph was this? Paragraph 1. So paragraph 1 would be the country where the pop star PSI comes from. So where the pop star comes from. And the last one is that. We can use that instead of who or which. So you can say in paragraph 3, we can actually say they will wear special badges that state the languages. So instead of which. or paragraph 2, their duty is to tourists that feel they have been overcharged. Okay, which one of these words is not a relative clause? Keep in mind, it's a very common mistake made by a lot of people, but what does not work here? So a lot of people will choose what in this respect. So important points. That is more usual than which in defining relative clauses. I think that is actually very, very common with relative clauses. And again, we do not use what in relative clauses. A lot of people try, and it just doesn't work. When who, that, or which is the object of the verb, we can leave it out. For example, you can say they didn't have the shirt that I wanted to buy, or you can say they didn't have the shirt I wanted to buy. So and keep in mind that it is possible actually to take these out, and it's totally fine. So in the above sentence, that the shirt is the object of the verb wanted. So, but if who, that, which is the subject of the verb, we cannot leave it out. And I think it's just basic practice as far as what you as how to use this. So, number 1, the police help tourists. The tourists visit Seoul. So the police help tourists. Who, were, that, visit Seoul. So number 2, Reggio, can you do that one? And then Max, could you do number 3? Hector, number 4. Eduardo, number 5. Alejandro, number 6. And Albanus, number 8, when we get there. So, Reggio, can you do this one?
I saw who I met yesterday.
Mm-hmm. I saw the boy who I met yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Or you can also say, I saw the boy that I met yesterday. Both of them will work.
How about when I have a comma? Which one I have to choose?
When you have a comma, can you give an example? What you mean by that?
For example, the policy helps tourists, comma. So I must use who or that in that case, in this case.
You can use both. The police help tourists. You would never actually put a comma before a relative clause. So you would say the police helped tourists that needed it, or the police helped tourists who needed it. So you would never put a comma here. Is one thing. Don't get it wrong. Going to North Korea. Eduardo, what's this?
Yeah.
I was actually yesterday. I was reading an article about there's a blog. There's somebody in a blog that is looking for teachers who have actually taught English in North Korea, and I started thinking that would be interesting.
I wouldn't go there.
Yeah. Do you want to go there?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't go there.
I don't want to go there.
I want to because it's like one of the last communist countries in the world, and I want to see what it's like. You know.
Maybe you cannot go back.
Yeah, I think because I lived in South Korea, I probably would not be allowed to go. So, number 3.
I have a question. Number 2.
Okay.
Can I omit The who? The word who?
I saw the boy I met yesterday. Yes, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I saw the boy I met yesterday. Yep. Good question. All right. And whoever I signed number 3 to, could you tell me the answer?
Let's go to that restaurant where we ate yesterday.
Where we ate. Oops, I can't type. Yesterday. Okay, very good. Number 4, whoever was assigned that.
I sent you an email. Did you receive it? Did you receive the email that I sent you?
Okay, you can also say you don't need the you. So, did you receive the email that I sent?
Okay.
Okay, because if you put you at the end, you've already got it here, so it's redundant.
Oh, yes.
So did you receive the email that I sent? Or in this respect, you can also say, did you receive the email I sent? So both of them would be correct. Okay, excellent. All right, number 5.
The laptop he bought yesterday doesn't work. I prefer omitting the which or that.
Yeah, you can omit it. Yeah, the laptop he bought yesterday doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, I got a new laptop. I got it today. It's just sitting here.
Yeah.
I just restarted it because it was getting updated and stuff. I can't wait to play with it.
The new one is working fine, sure.
Yeah, I hope so. And number 6, I work in an office. The office doesn't have air conditioning. Can someone do that one?
The office which doesn't.
The office that I work.
Okay, office that I work
doesn't have an air conditioning.
Doesn't have air conditioning. Okay, that does actually work. If I can type it, there's one that's even better. The office where I work doesn't have air conditioning. Or you could say, my office doesn't have air conditioning. And I think that a lot of people would choose the last one. My office doesn't have air conditioning. So, and that doesn't even have a relative clause on it. So, John is an American. He works as a police officer.
John is an American who works as a police officer.
Yes, who works as a police officer. Perfect. Already there. Okay, number 8.
They meet at a cafe for this first time. Who celebrates this anniversary there?
They celebrated their anniversary at the
cafe.
Okay, could you say that again, please?
They celebrate her anniversary at the cafe.
Okay, they celebrated their anniversary at the cafe where they met for the first time.
The first time.
Yeah. So they celebrated their anniversary at the cafe where they met for the first time. Okay. All right, let's go to practice number 2. This is the town where she lives. This actually, let's see if there's any speaking. Tell me, I just want to do for the last few minutes just a little bit of free conversation. So tell me, Eduardo, where you work, do you have air conditioning, and do you need air conditioning?
Where I work, there is air conditioning, and we need it a lot.
Okay, you need it. Does anybody work somewhere where air conditioning is not required? Or does anybody work somewhere where there is no air conditioning?
In Bogota, we don't need the air conditioning because Bogota is a cool climate.
Cool climate. It's got the best temperature in the world. But you do know, Hector, that you're supposed to keep that quiet, right? Did you know that?
I don't understand that.
Okay, when I went to Bogota, I gave a presentation about teaching online to the Ministry of Education at the government, and they took us out to dinner, and they told us about Bogota and how beautiful it was and how the temperature was so great, and then they said, okay, don't tell anybody because everybody will come. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we need all people come to Colombia.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country though. So.
Yes.
But I was only there for 4 days, so I need to get back there. But 20 degrees Celsius year round, pretty much, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. How about in Venezuela? Do you have air conditioning where you work, Albina?
Do you have?
Air conditioning?
No.
No, okay. Do you need air conditioning where you work?
Yes, because the weather is very hot and humid.
Okay.
I am expiring.
I
am so humid. And so the answer will be
yeah. So you need it. Okay. Let me. Yeah, you really need it then. Okay. And here is the document, the link to the document. You can always also find it, just as an FYI, when you are it's right under the video of the class. When you press the green button to join the class, you can always find it as well. So, but there is the link to the document, everyone. You're welcome, Hector. All right, everyone, thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that you like this class, Eduardo. It's great. I hope to see you in another class sometime. I will be teaching in a few hours, I think. So the differences between British and American English education system. So, okay, see you later.
See
and
you.
Sleep well, everybody.
See you. Bye.
Bye. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.